Apollo Creed stands in the center of the ring wearing gold and white shorts that catch every spotlight when an unknown club fighter from Philadelphia walks through the ropes. Creed looks at him and laughs, says, "This is going to be easier than I thought." What happens in the next 15 rounds doesn't just shock the champion. It changes boxing history forever and proves that heart can beat skill when everything is on the line. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. November 1976. Tuesday night, 9:47 p.m. The Spectrum Arena is packed. 19,552 people, filling every seat, every aisle, every available space. The crowd is deafening, screaming, chanting, waving signs, flashbulbs popping like lightning strikes. The air is thick with cigarette smoke, sweat, beer, hot dogs, anticipation. That electric energy that only exists when something historic is about to happen. When two men are about to try to destroy each other for glory, for money, for pride, for everything that matters in their world. This is the biggest night in Philadelphia sports history. The heavyweight championship of the world is being defended on home soil. Apollo Creed, the champion, undefeated, untouchable, the greatest showman boxing has ever seen, is giving a local fighter a shot at the title. Not because the local fighter deserves it, because Creed's original opponent got injured 3 weeks ago and the fight was too big to cancel. Too much money invested, too much publicity, too many people expecting a show, so Creed and his team picked someone easy, someone who wouldn't last, someone who would make Creed look good while going down fast. They picked Rocky Balboa, a club fighter, a nobody, a guy who boxes in tiny gyms for $150 a fight, a guy who collects debts for a loan shark to pay rent, a guy who lives in a tiny apartment with 2 turtles and a goldfish, a guy who's 30 years old and never got a real shot at anything meaningful in his entire life. The press called it the Italian Stallion versus the Master of Disaster. But everyone knows it's a joke, a mismatch. Apollo Creed's team scheduled this as a tune-up fight disguised as a championship opportunity. Easy money, easy win, easy headlines. Creed gets to play the generous champion, giving a local boy a shot while destroying him in front of his hometown. Maximum humiliation, maximum entertainment. The odds are 50-1 against Rocky. Nobody, not one single professional analyst, gives him a chance. Not one. This isn't a competitive fight. This is an execution dressed up as opportunity. Rocky Balboa sits in his dressing room 30 minutes before the fight. Small concrete room, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, cracked mirror on one wall, wooden bench, metal locker. The walls are painted institutional gray, the kind of gray that makes you feel like you're in a prison or a hospital, the kind of gray that drains hope. Rocky sits there in his white shorts and black shoes, hands already wrapped, staring at nothing, thinking about everything. His trainer, Mickey, an old man with a face like worn leather and eyes that have seen 10,000 fights, is pacing. Nervous energy, chain smoking, dropping ashes on the floor. Mickey knows this is suicide, knows Rocky isn't ready, knows Rocky's been training in a freezer warehouse for 6 weeks because they couldn't afford a real gym. Knows Rocky's been punching frozen meat because they couldn't afford a heavy bag. Knows this whole thing is desperation masked as opportunity. But Mickey also knows this is Rocky's only shot. His last shot. At 30 years old, if Rocky doesn't take this fight, he'll never get another chance. Ever. He'll be collecting debts and getting hit for $150 until his body gives out and nobody remembers his name. Mickey stops pacing, looks at Rocky, says, "You don't have to do this. We can still walk away. Tell them you're injured. Tell them anything. Nobody's going to blame you for not wanting to get killed by Apollo Creed." Rocky doesn't look up, just stares at his hands, those big scarred hands that have been hitting things since he was 12 years old. Says quietly, "I ain't walking away." Mickey sits down next to him, says, "Rock, this ain't like those club fights. This is Apollo Creed, undefeated. He's faster than anyone you ever faced, hits harder, smarter, better trained. He's got the best team, the best equipment, the best everything. And you? You've been training in a meat locker? You understand what I'm saying?" Rocky nods. I understand. Then why are we doing this? Rocky finally looks up. His eyes are calm. No fear, no doubt, just acceptance. Says, because nobody ever gave me nothing. My whole life, nobody ever looked at me and thought I could be something, including me. I looked in the mirror every day and saw a bum. Saw someone who wasn't smart enough, wasn't good enough, wasn't nothing enough. But Mickey, I ain't a bum. I know I can't beat Apollo Creed. I know that. I ain't stupid, but I can do something nobody thinks I can do. I can go the distance. 15 rounds. If I'm still standing when that bell rings at the end, if I go the full 15 with the champion, then I ain't a bum no more. Then I'm someone. Just for one night. That's all I want. Just to prove to myself that I ain't what everyone always said I was. Mickey stares at him for a long moment, then nods slowly. Says, okay, then let's go prove it. There's a knock on the door. A voice calls out, 5 minutes? Rocky stands up, rolls his shoulders, shakes out his arms. Mickey wraps a towel around Rocky's neck, says, remember, keep your hands up. Stay inside. Don't try to outbox him. You can't. He's too fast. Just survive. 1 round at a time. Don't think about 15. Think about 1, then think about the next one. That's all. 1 at a time. Rocky nods. They walk toward the door. Before Mickey opens it, Rocky says, hey, Mick. Yeah? Thanks for believing in me. Mickey's eyes get wet. He doesn't say anything, just nods. Opens the door. The hallway is chaos. People everywhere. Officials, photographers, security, hangers-on, everyone trying to get close to the action. Rocky and Mickey push through the crowd. The noise from the arena gets louder with every step. A roar that sounds like the ocean, constant and overwhelming. They reach the entrance tunnel. Rocky can see the ring at the end. Bright lights, canvas, ropes. The crowd beyond, a sea of faces all waiting to watch him fail. Apollo Creed is already in the ring. Rocky can see him from the tunnel. Gold shorts, red and white trim, dancing around, shadowboxing, playing to the crowd. Creed looks like a superhero. 6'2", 225 pounds of pure muscle, moving like he weighs nothing. Fast hands, faster feet. Confidence radiating from every movement. The crowd is going wild for him, half cheering, half booing, but everyone reacting, everyone paying attention. Apollo Creed knows how to command a room, knows how to make everything about him. The ring announcer's voice booms through the speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the challenger, fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with a record of 44 wins, 38 losses. That number hits Rocky like a punch. 38 losses. More losses than wins. A losing record, fighting for the heavyweight championship of the world. It's absurd. It's embarrassing. But it's real. It's happening. Weighing in at 190 pounds, the Italian stallion, Rocky Balboa. The crowd explodes. Half are booing because Rocky doesn't belong here. Half are cheering because he's their hometown guy, their representative, even if he's going to lose. Rocky starts walking down the tunnel. Each step feels heavy. The noise crashes over him in waves. He climbs into the ring. The canvas feels different than the club fights, tighter, newer. This is a real ring, a championship ring. Apollo Creed stops shadowboxing, looks at Rocky for the first time, really looks at him, takes in Rocky's simple white shorts, his cheap shoes, his old-school appearance. No flash, no style. Just a guy who looks like he walked out of 1950 instead of 1976. Creed walks over to Rocky's corner, stands right in front of him, 6 inches taller, 35 pounds heavier, smiling that million-dollar smile. Creed says loud enough for the front rows to hear, "Hey, Italian, you know this is a real fight, right? Not one of those $40 club shows? You sure you want to do this?" Rocky looks up at him. Doesn't say anything, just looks. His face is blank, no emotion, no reaction, just looking. Creed laughs, that famous laugh, throws his head back, says to his corner, "This is going to be easier than I thought. Look at him, he's scared already." But Rocky isn't scared. He's focused, he's processing, He's seeing how Creed carries his weight, how he shifts his feet, how he holds his hands when he's not actively boxing. Rocky's been in 82 fights. He's seen every type of fighter: fast ones, strong ones, technical ones, brawlers. He knows how to read people, and what he's reading from Apollo Creed is confidence. Too much confidence. Creed thinks this is going to be easy, thinks Rocky is going to fold in 3 rounds, maybe less. That might be true, probably is true, but if Creed underestimates him even a little, Rocky might have a chance. Not to win, but to survive, to last, to go the distance. The referee calls both fighters to the center, goes through the rules. Touch gloves. Back to your corners. Wait for the bell. Apollo Creed is still smiling, still playing to the crowd, still treating this like a show instead of a fight. Rocky walks back to his corner. Mickey is there, puts in Rocky's mouthpiece. Says one last thing. He thinks you're nothing. Make him work. Make him remember you. The bell rings. Round 1. Apollo Creed comes out dancing, literally dancing, moving his feet like he's performing, hands low, head moving, showing off. The crowd loves it. He's not even trying to hit Rocky yet, just circling, evaluating, showing everyone how much better he is. Rocky moves forward, hands up, guard tight, head slightly down. Traditional boxer stance. Nothing fancy, nothing pretty, just solid fundamentals. Creed throws a jab, lightning fast, snaps out and back before Rocky can react. Doesn't land clean, just grazes the top of Rocky's head. But the speed is terrifying. Rocky has never seen hands that fast. Never. Creed throws another jab, another, testing Rocky's defense, finding holes. Rocky keeps his hands up, blocks some, eats some. Each jab feels like getting hit with a piston. Fast, hard, precise. Creed starts walking Rocky down, not worried about counters, not worried about anything. Throws a combination. Jab, jab, right hand. The right hand gets through, catches Rocky on the chin. Rocky's head snaps back. His knees wobble slightly. The crowd gasps. First real punch, and Rocky already looks hurt. Creed smiles, smells blood, throws another combination, this time adding a hook. Jab, right hand, left hook. All 3 land. Rocky stumbles backward into the ropes. Creed follows, starts teeing off, throwing hooks to the body, uppercuts, jabs, a flurry of punches. Rocky covers up, turtles behind his gloves, takes shot after shot. The sound of leather hitting flesh echoes through the arena. This is it. This is where it ends. First round knockout. Everyone knew it would happen. Rocky is going down, but he doesn't go down. The punches keep coming. Rocky keeps covering, keeps taking them. His arms absorb most of the power. Some shots get through, hit his ribs, his sides, his shoulders. But he doesn't fall, doesn't drop, just stands there taking everything Apollo Creed can throw. The bell rings. End of round 1. Rocky walks back to his corner. Mickey is shocked, says, "You okay?" Rocky spits into the bucket, blood in his spit. Already. Says, "Yeah. He hit you 40 times. You hit him twice." "I know." "Rock, you can't just take punches for 15 rounds. You'll die." "I ain't dead yet." Mickey stares at him, realizes something. Rocky isn't trying to win rounds, isn't trying to outbox Apollo Creed. He's trying to survive, to absorb, to last. It's the only strategy that makes sense, but it's suicide. Nobody can take Apollo Creed's punches for 15 rounds. Nobody. Round 2. Creed comes out still confident, but more focused. The first round was fun. This round is business. He starts working the body. Systematic destruction. Hooks to the ribs. Rocky's covering his head, so Creed goes downstairs. Each body shot sounds like a hammer hitting wood. Thud, thud, thud. Rocky's breathing gets harder. His guard drops slightly. Creed immediately goes upstairs. Right hand to the jaw. Rocky's head snaps back again. He stumbles. Creed pursues. Throws a combination. Rocky covers. Takes most of it on his arms, but one uppercut gets through. Catches him under the chin. Rocky's mouthpiece flies out. Lands on the canvas. The referee stops the fight. Gives Rocky his mouthpiece back. Asks if he can continue. Rocky nods. Fight resumes. Creed is getting annoyed now. He's landing clean shots, big shots, shots that have knocked out other fighters. But Rocky keeps standing, keeps coming forward, keeps trying to get inside where his short arms give him an advantage. Creed uses his jab to maintain distance, keeps Rocky at the end of his reach where Rocky can't hit back, but Creed can land all day. It's a clinic, a masterclass in boxing technique. Apollo Creed is showing everyone why he's the champion, why he's undefeated, why he's the best heavyweight in the world, and Rocky is showing everyone why he has 38 losses. He's slow, he's hittable, he's outmatched in every way, but he won't quit. Round 3. Rocky's face is already swelling. His left eye is puffing up. Blood runs from his nose. His body is red from the constant beating. Mickey wants to stop it, wants to throw in the towel, save Rocky from permanent damage, but Rocky won't let him. Between rounds, Rocky says, "Don't stop it. I'm going the distance. I told you, don't stop it." Creed comes out for round 3, expecting Rocky to be done, to be ready to quit. But Rocky comes forward again. Same strategy, hands up, head down, walking into the fire. Creed starts showing off again, throws punches with his hands down, showboating, making Rocky look foolish. The crowd is split. Some are booing Creed for being disrespectful. Some are booing Rocky for not being competitive. Some are just watching in horrified fascination, watching a man willingly absorb punishment that would break most people. Then something happens. Rocky gets inside. Finally, slips past Creed's jab, gets into close range, throws a hook to the body, lands clean. Creed's eyes widen. That punch hurt. Actually hurt. Rocky throws another one, same spot, right under the ribs. Creed backs up. His showboating stops. He clinches Rocky, holds him, waits for the referee to break them up. Creed's breathing a little harder now. He's been hit, really hit. For the first time in the fight, Apollo Creed realizes something. Rocky Balboa can punch. His arms are short, but they're thick, dense, heavy. When they land, they hurt. Creed is still winning, still dominating. But now he knows he can't just play around. Rocky is dangerous if you let him get close. Round 4, Creed goes back to the jab, keeps Rocky away. Smart boxing, technical boxing, winning on points, landing clean shots, making Rocky miss. Apollo Creed is a master and he's showing it. But Rocky keeps coming, absorbs the jabs, walks through them, tries to get inside again. Creed won't let him, uses footwork, angles, creates distance, throws combinations when Rocky overextends, catches him clean. Rocky's head snaps back repeatedly. His legs look shaky. The crowd is starting to worry. This might get stopped soon. The ring doctor is watching carefully. One more bad round and he might call it. Round 5. Rocky comes out looking worse. Blood running from his nose and mouth, his left eye almost swollen shut, his body covered in red welts from the constant body shots. But his eyes are still clear, still focused, still determined. Mickey says between rounds, "Rock, this is enough. You proved your point. Let me stop it." Rocky says, "No. You can't see out of your left eye." "I got another one." "Rock, I'm going the distance, Mick. That's what I said. That's what I'm doing." Round 5 is brutal. Creed smells the finish, starts headhunting, throwing bombs, trying to end it. Rocky covers up, takes everything. The crowd is screaming. Some are chanting Rocky's name, supporting him, respecting his heart, his refusal to quit. Others are yelling for the referee to stop it, to save Rocky from himself. The round ends. Rocky barely makes it back to his corner, collapses on the stool. Mickey works frantically, ice on the eye, stops the bleeding from the nose, gives him water, says, "5 rounds, you did 5. That's more than anyone thought. That's enough." Rocky spits blood, says, "10 more." "Rock, 10 more, Mick." Round 6. Something changes. Rocky changes. He's been absorbing punishment for 5 rounds, learning, studying, watching how Creed moves, how he throws punches, where he leaves openings. And now Rocky starts slipping punches. Not many, not most, but some. He bobs under a jab, weaves away from a right hand. Creed's punches start missing by inches instead of landing clean. And when Creed misses, Rocky counters. short hooks to the body, quick crosses to the chin, not power punches, just sharp, quick shots. Accumulating damage. Creed is still winning the round, still landing more. But Rocky is making him work, making him think, making him uncomfortable. The crowd senses it. The energy shifts. Rocky isn't just surviving anymore, he's competing, actually competing, with Apollo Creed, the champion, the undefeated king, and Rocky Balboa, the club fighter with 38 losses, is making him work for every second. Round 7. Creed gets serious. No more showboating, no more smiling. This is a real fight now. He starts throwing combinations with bad intentions, trying to hurt Rocky, really hurt him, but Rocky slips some, blocks some, and when Creed overcommits, Rocky fires back. A right hand gets through Creed's guard, catches him clean on the jaw. Creed's head turns. His knees buckle slightly. The crowd explodes. Rocky Balboa just hurt Apollo Creed. The champion felt that punch. Everyone in the arena saw it. Creed's corner is yelling at him, telling him to wake up, to focus. This isn't a tune-up fight anymore. This is a war. Round 8. Rocky's confidence is growing. He's no longer just trying to survive. He's trying to win rounds. He comes out aggressive, walks through Creed's jab, gets inside, starts working the body systematically. Left hook, right hook, left hook, pounding Creed's ribs. Creed tries to tie him up, but Rocky breaks free, keeps punching. The crowd is on their feet, screaming, losing their minds. Rocky Balboa is beating up Apollo Creed, not dominating, but competing, landing clean shots, hurting the champion. When the round ends, Creed looks tired for the first time. Actually tired. His corner is frantic, telling him to use his jab, to stay away, to box. But Creed's ego is bruised. He wants to knock Rocky out, wants to prove he's superior, wants to end this. Round 9. Creed comes out throwing heat, everything he has. Power punches, hooks, uppercuts, overhand rights. Rocky covers up, takes the onslaught. His defense is good now. Tight. He's learned Creed's patterns, knows when the right hand is coming, knows when to duck, when to block, when to cover. Creed lands some. Big shots. Rocky's head snaps back, but he doesn't go down, doesn't even look hurt. Just keeps his guard up, keeps absorbing. Then Creed gets tired, drops his hands for a second. Just a second. Rocky sees it, throws an uppercut, catches Creed coming in, lands flush on the chin. Creed's legs go rubbery. He stumbles backward, grabs the ropes. The crowd is hysterical. Rocky Balboa almost knocked down Apollo Creed. The referee is watching closely. Creed shakes his head, clears it, waves Rocky forward. They exchange in the center of the ring, trading punches. Creed lands 3. Rocky lands 2. But Rocky's 2 are heavier, meaner. The bell saves Creed. He walks back to his corner, shaken. His team is yelling at him. "What are you doing? This guy is nothing. You're the champion." Creed says between gasps, "He's tougher than I thought." Round 10, halfway through. Rocky has survived 10 rounds with Apollo Creed. Nobody thought he'd survive 3. The entire arena is chanting his name now. Rocky! 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 Even the people who booed him at the beginning, even the people who bet against him, even the people who thought this was a joke, they're all chanting for him because Rocky Balboa is showing them something they forgot existed. Heart, pure, unfiltered, unbreakable heart. Creed knows he's in trouble. He's winning on points. Definitely winning. But he's not destroying Rocky like he was supposed to. He's not making him quit. And the longer this goes, the worse Creed looks. The more questions people ask. Why can't the undefeated champion put away a club fighter? What does that say about Apollo Creed? Creed comes out desperate. Throws everything. Rocky meets him in the center. They trade. Creed lands a right hand. Rocky lands a left hook. Creed lands a combination. Rocky lands a body shot that makes Creed grunt. Back and forth, neither giving an inch. The crowd is screaming so loud the walls shake. This is the fight everyone hoped for, but nobody expected. This is drama. This is real. 2 men leaving everything in the ring. When the bell rings, both fighters are exhausted. Both are hurt. Both are damaged. But both are still standing. Both are still fighting. Round 11. The championship rounds. This is where fights are won and lost, where heart matters more than skill, where will matters more than training. Rocky comes out looking like a monster from a horror movie. His face is destroyed, both eyes swollen, nose broken, lips split, blood everywhere. But he's moving forward, still coming, still trying. Creed looks better, but he's tired. Really tired. He's thrown more punches in this fight than his last 3 fights combined. His arms are heavy, his legs are slowing. Rocky gets inside, starts punishing the body, over and over, thudding shots that take the air out of Creed's lungs. Creed tries to circle away. Rocky follows, relentless. Creed throws a big right hand, misses. Rocky counters, left hook to the body, right hand to the head. Both land clean. Creed stumbles. The crowd is losing their minds. Rocky smells blood, throws a combination. Creed covers up, takes them on his arms, but the force pushes him into the corner. Rocky unloads. Both hands. Hooks, crosses, uppercuts, not all landing, but enough landing. Creed is in trouble, real trouble. The referee is watching, thinking about stopping it. But the bell rings. Creed survives. Barely. His corner is panicking. He's the champion. He can't lose to Rocky Balboa. It's impossible. It would be the biggest upset in boxing history. They're screaming at him, "Wake up, focus, you're the better fighter." But Creed knows the truth now. In terms of skill, yes, he's better. But in terms of heart, in terms of will? Rocky Balboa has something Creed doesn't have, something Creed can't match. The willingness to die in this ring, to sacrifice everything, to refuse to quit no matter what. That's not something you train. That's something you are. Round 12. 4 rounds left. Rocky's corner is begging him to quit. Mickey is crying. Actually crying, saying, "You went 12 rounds with the champion. That's enough. You proved it. Let me stop it." Rocky can barely see anymore. Both eyes nearly shut, breathing through his mouth because his nose is broken. Ribs probably cracked from the body shots. Hands swollen and damaged. But he says, "3 more, Mick. Just 3 more." Creed comes out knowing he needs a knockout. Can't let this go to decision. Even if he wins on points, he loses in every other way. Loses respect, loses credibility, loses the aura of invincibility. He needs to knock Rocky out, prove he's still the man. He starts throwing bombs, haymakers, winging punches with everything behind them. Rocky can't see them all. Takes several clean. His head snaps back violently. Once, twice, 3 times. Each one would knock out most fighters. Rocky staggers but doesn't fall. Creed throws an uppercut. Lands perfect. Rocky's mouthpiece flies out again. His legs buckle. He drops to one knee. The crowd gasps. This is it. Finally. Rocky is going down. The referee starts counting. 1, 2, 3. Rocky's head is down, blood dripping from his face onto the canvas. 4, 5. He puts his hand on his knee, pushes. 6, 7. He stands up, legs shaking. The referee asks if he can continue. Rocky nods. Fight resumes. Creed can't believe it. He threw his best punch, landed clean, and Rocky got up. What does it take to stop this man? Creed throws another combination. Rocky covers, survives, throws back. A weak jab, but it's something. It's defiance. It's refusing to die. The bell rings. Rocky stumbles to his corner. Mickey is holding him up, says, "That's it. I'm stopping it." Rocky grabs Mickey's arm, says through swollen lips, "Don't you dare! Don't you dare, Mick!" 2 more. Just 2 more. Round 13. Rocky can barely stand. His body wants to quit, screaming at him to stop, but his mind won't let him. His heart won't let him. He promised himself. Go the distance. 15 rounds. Prove you're not a bum. That's all that matters. That's everything. Creed comes out throwing, but he's exhausted too. His punches are slower, less snap. Rocky slips one, counters, gets inside. They clinch. 2 exhausted fighters holding each other up. The referee breaks them. They separate, circle, both throwing arm punches now. Nothing behind them, just going through the motions, trying to survive. The round is ugly. No technique, no beauty, just two men refusing to quit. The bell rings. Both fighters are grateful. Round 14. One more after this. One more, and Rocky achieves his goal. Goes the distance. Proves he's someone. Proves everyone wrong. But he has to survive this round first. And then one more. Creed knows it too. Knows if Rocky makes it to the final bell, he loses, even if he wins. He digs deep, finds reserves he didn't know he had, comes out throwing with renewed energy. Rocky tries to defend, but he's so tired, so hurt. Creed lands a right hand. Rocky's knees buckle. Another right hand. Rocky falls into the ropes. The ropes hold him up. Creed pours it on, combination after combination. Rocky's not defending anymore, just taking them. The referee is about to stop it, but Rocky pushes off the ropes, throws a wild hook, misses. But the effort, the refusal to quit. The referee lets it continue. Creed throws more punches. Rocky covers, survives. The bell rings. One more round. Just one more. Mickey says, "You did it, Rock. You went 14. That's enough. Please." Rocky says, "One more, Mick. One more, and we did it." Round 15, the final round. Apollo Creed stands in his corner looking at Rocky Balboa, this beaten, bloody, destroyed fighter who won't quit. And for the first time, Creed feels respect, real respect. This isn't just some club fighter. This is a warrior, someone who has heart beyond measure, someone who will be remembered. Creed realizes something. If he knocks out Rocky now, people will say he beat a wounded fighter. But if Rocky finishes, if Rocky goes the distance, then Rocky wins something more important than the title. Rocky wins immortality. The bell rings. Both fighters meet in the center. They don't circle, don't dance, just stand there throwing punches. Exhausted, damaged, running on pure will. Rocky lands a hook, Creed lands a cross. Back and forth, neither defending, just trading. The crowd is on their feet, screaming, crying, watching history, watching two men give everything they have. 30 seconds left. Rocky throws a combination. Creed throws one back. Both land, both hurt. 20 seconds left. They're leaning on each other, punching, barely standing. 10 seconds left. The crowd counts down. 10, 9, 8. Rocky throws one last punch. Creed throws one back. 5, 4, 3. They're still throwing, still fighting. 2, 1. The bell rings. It's over. Rocky Balboa went the distance. 15 rounds with the heavyweight champion of the world, something nobody thought possible. The referee raises Apollo Creed's hand. Creed wins by decision. He's still champion. But nobody's looking at Creed. Everyone's looking at Rocky, screaming his name, chanting it. Rocky! 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 Rocky doesn't care about the decision, doesn't care that he lost. He's crying, yelling, "Adrian! Adrian!" looking for his girlfriend in the crowd. She fights her way to the ring, climbs in. They embrace. Rocky says, "I did it. I went the distance." She says, "I love you." He says, "I love you too." Apollo Creed stands in the corner watching this, the greatest moment of Rocky Balboa's life. And Creed understands. He won the fight, but Rocky won something bigger. Rocky proved that heart matters, that refusing to quit matters, that believing in yourself when nobody else does matters. Years later, reporters would ask Apollo Creed about his toughest fight. He'd always say the same thing. "Rocky Balboa, first fight. I thought I was just giving a local guy a shot. Turned out he gave me the fight of my life. Taught me that skills can win fights, but heart determines legends. I walked into that ring thinking it would be easy. 15 rounds later, I learned respect." What assumptions are you making about people because of where they come from? What they look like? What their record says? Because Rocky Balboa had 38 losses and nobody gave him a chance. And he went 15 rounds with the greatest heavyweight champion of his generation. Not because he was skilled. Because he refused to quit, because he believed in himself when nobody else did, because he understood that winning isn't always about the decision. Sometimes it's about lasting, about surviving, about proving to yourself that you're more than what everyone says you are. Who's the Rocky Balboa in your life that you're underestimating? And more importantly, when are you going to stop letting other people's opinions define what you're capable of? Because 15 rounds can change everything. 15 rounds can turn a nobody into a legend. All you have to do is refuse to quit.